Greetings to everyone. It is Thursday, December the 21st. It is my Friday. I don't work on Friday this month. Thank the Lord. I know I'm a little late with this video, but I wanted to talk about the Rigondeaux Lomachenko fight, and just Lomachenko a little bit in general. Really impressed with Lomachenko against Rigondeaux. Of course, anybody who saw the fight knows that Rigondeaux was way too small. Many of us were anticipating between these two with their pedigree, their styles, their techniques, their abilities. We were expecting a classic thinkers chess match, boxing match, a la Sugar Ray Leonard, Wilfred Benitez, or Pernell Whitaker, Buddy McGirt, their first encounter, or one of my favorite chess matches, young James Toney against Mike McCallum in their first encounter. If you've never checked that fight out, go to YouTube and definitely watch that fight. You're looking at two of the greatest thinkers of all time squaring off in that fight. A lot of us were expecting that kind of back and forth. You score, I score. You pull a quick move, I pull a quick move. But it didn't happen. And one of the reasons why it didn't happen because Rigondeaux's style as a counterpuncher is made to sit back and wait for the other guy's mistakes. The problem is Lomachenko doesn't make many mistakes. Lomachenko is also a man who has the rare ability, like a Sugar Ray Robinson, a Muhammad Ali, or Willie Pep, Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather Jr. He has that rare ability to punch on the move. Roy Jones Jr. also could throw punches while on the move. It's one of the rare abilities some boxers have. I know when I'm slap boxing with a lot of my friends, they'll play boxing. That's one of the things that throws them off about me when they're trying to play box with me, is I can move my feet and throw punches while I'm moving in a circle around them, and it just kind of throws them off because the average person can't throw punches and move their feet. It's just impossibility. You want any evidence of that, see a basketball fight between Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson for conclusive evidence that you can't move your feet and throw punches at the same time if you're not skilled in that area. But Lomachenko, it's almost impossible to counterpunch somebody who can punch on the move. Because as a counterpuncher, when they throw the punch, you're looking to counter them where they threw the punch. But Lomachenko can punch in a circle. And so when you're looking to counter, he's gone. He's no longer, if somebody throws a left jab and you roll your shoulder and come over with the right hand, like James Toney was famous for doing, you're expecting him to be right where they threw the left jab. But Lomachenko has the ability to move from where he threw the punch, and so the opportunity for Rigondeaux to counter was never there. Also, the most obvious thing, he was just too small. He was just too small. Overall, I think Lomachenko is a genius fighter. He's a great fighter. I will say, I do think he wasted 4 years of his career. And what I mean by that is, he's a two-time gold medalist, as is Rigondeaux. And Rigondeaux's circumstances were different because he was in communist Cuba. And he had to basically, you can't go pro in Cuba. You have to sneak out. You have to defect like he did, which he finally did after 2 gold medals. But in Lomachenko's case, he won his first gold medal, I think, when he was 19 or 20, and then stayed amateur, and 4 years later won another gold medal. That second 4 years and second gold medal, to me, that's just me, was a waste. Because most prolific prize fighters, once they win that 1 gold medal, they turn pro at 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. All the greats did it. Ali, Foreman, Frazier, Leonard, Spinks, Whitaker, Taylor, Breland, De La Hoya, Jones, all of the greats, Mayweather, all of the greats win that gold medal and turn pro at 19, 20, and develop as a young pro. And Lomachenko, when he was supposed to be 19, 20, 21 years old as a young pro, developing as a young pro, he was still fighting amateurs. And so you got the gold medal, yeah, but part of your prime was wasted in the amateurs. I mean, we got to see, think about Sugar Ray Leonard from age 20 to 25. Beats Wilfred Benitez. Beats Roberto Duran in a rematch. Loses to Duran in an absolute brawl, which was still one of the greatest fights of all time. Beat Tommy Hearns in one of the great epic comebacks of all time. And did all of that before, by the age of 25. Floyd Mayweather beat the great Chiquinita Gonzalez. Ran through the 130-pound division. Destroyed Diego Corrales. All of that before the age of 25. Oscar de la Hoya beat Julio Cesar Chavez. Beat Gabriel Ruelas. Beat James Leija. Questionably beat Pernell Whitaker. But he had Hall of Fame credentials by the age of 24. And most of the greats, that's what they do. They go to the Olympics. They win that gold medal at 19, 20, 18, 19, 20. They come out. They go pro. And they come up through the ranks as a pro. And Lomachenko, by the time he got pro, he was 25, 20, between 24 and 25, 26. I'm like, hey, bro, you wasted your prime in the amateurs. And that's part of the tragedy of Lomachenko. As great as he is now, this will be short-lived because he's 30. I mean, he's 29, but he's almost 30. And we didn't get to see a 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25-year-old professional in the middle of his peak pro. When he should have been fighting with the pros, he was still beating up on amateurs, and I got to take points off of that. But with that being said, he's still a genius. I think one of the reasons why he wanted a title shot in his second, third fight, wants to fight all these titles early, because he knows he wasted a lot of his prime in the amateurs, winning that gold medal the second time. He knows that he has a lot of catching up to do, and that's the reason why he's fighting all the guys that he's fighting. But with that being said, where he is right now, he's doing magnificent things in boxing. I do believe still, even with the guys that he's beating, as good as some of them are, he's still somewhat a product of his era. He's not making Alexis Arguello at 130 pounds to quit on the stool. You're not getting a 130-pound in his prime Julio Cesar Chavez to quit on the stool. You're not getting a Roberto Duran or a Salvador Sanchez or a Zuma Nelson to quit on their stool, bro. You're just not. These guys are they different. They're not the animals that I grew up watching. They're not. You think Julio Cesar Chavez, the same Julio Cesar Chavez that knocked out Roger Mayweather is quitting on his stool? You think that same Julio Cesar Chavez by the 8th or 9th round isn't digging all in Lomachenko's ribcage? I mean, come on. But Loma, he's a great fighter. You can't take anything away from him for what he's doing while he's doing it. He's doing what he can do while he can do it against who he can do it against. Now, a couple of things. One thing I will say, there are a lot of people going around that, wonder if Loma can beat Mayweather, if the 130-pound Loma would have beat the 130-pound Mayweather. I'll do another video about that. But I will say that I would like to see Loma against Mikey Garcia, against a couple of these guys, 135 pounds. I think the Mikey Garcia fight with Loma will be epic because Mikey Garcia does not play. But Lomachenko right now, I'd say pound for pound, right now he is the best. A lot of people say Terrence Crawford, and I know the elephant in the room, a lot of black guys are down on Lomachenko because, some of us just don't believe in giving white fighters props. But anybody who knows me knows that I give props where props deserve to be given. I don't play those games. If you're a great fighter, I give you your props. no matter what your race, color, creed is. I just don't believe in that. You know, other people may do it, but I just don't believe in it. I believe right now, what he's done against who he's done against has been a little bit more impressive than the guys Terence Crawford's beaten. Even though Terence Crawford has that big win over Rigondeaux, but I'll put Lomachenko number 1, Terence Crawford number 2 on my pound for pound list. And you know, after those guys, you can fill it in however you want. But those are number 1 and number 2. I really like Lomachenko. I really like where he's going. He's got to keep the pedal to the metal because, like I said before, he's 30 years old, so he has to press the gas, because his peak will be over before he knows it. And by the time that comes around, you know, I say, by the way fighters fight now, he has about, I'd say 6 to 7 years, because you look at Triple G, he's 35, 36 now. Now he's starting to just slow down a little bit. So Lomachenko to me is much more athletic than Triple G, much more naturally gifted. So he may be able to stretch it out to 35, 36 years old, and still be in his prime. So that gives us about a good 6, 7 more years to see him be great. So that's my take on Lomachenko. Rigondeaux, that's my take on Lomachenko. Tell me what you think in the comments, if you agree or disagree with my take on Lomachenko. Peace.